Well, hello crew. I've returned to a nice clean workshop. Nothing I hate more than a messy, dirty workshop. I'm going to mark and start scribing these. I don't have that blue stuff that they use, which would probably be handy, probably dries a lot quicker. So I just used a bit of black spray paint. It just makes the marking stand out a bit more. So I'll just let the black paint dry. I guess it'll do the same job. I'm guessing it will do the same job. I don't know. I did fitting and turning when I was 16 for a year, and yeah, it's been a long time since I've done stuff like this, so I'm enjoying it. So yeah, also enjoying the use of this. This should be fun, although I hear these are not the best. Apparently you're better off using something different, but it's what I've got at the moment. It's not a chuck. Apparently you need different equipment that moves less, but I don't know, this is pretty substantial chuck. It's it feels pretty good, so it should be okay. I gave it a clean already after practicing with it the other day. Just used the old shop vac. So yeah, I'll show you more when I start and it's dried and I've done some of the scratching and showed you what I'm about to do next. Well, this is the engine side, so the bottom of the original, just like this. Of course, I haven't got the seal groove in yet. I want to get these ports to line up first. The first one I did, the chuck came loose, you know, the tapered piece, I forget what they're called. Then these two went really good, and then this one, it came loose again. So, but you know, it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be a challenge, right? Oh well, on to the next one. Well, it's night time now. Actually had a sleep. I fell asleep on the couch. But I do a lot of thinking, a lot of engineering in my head. And I'm rethinking my plan. You see, the Coyote has this port here further forward, and like they're more offset. One head is a bit further back than the other. The Jeep is more even, right? So I would have to do a lot of angle milling, or I'm gonna have to cut these off. I'm considering cutting these off completely and repositioning them exactly the same as the Jeep's position. That is my consideration at the moment. While I was sleeping on the couch, this popped into my head when I woke up. That's how most of my stuff works. It happens in my sleep. So I thought this was flat though. I'm thinking I can re-weld the aluminium plate in there, drill the holes, and then. But then this is just pipe, right? Yeah. This looks like just aluminium tubing. Yeah. It does look like it's tapered in a way, but it also doesn't. I have to find out if I can get this. If I can get new stuff with this, that'd be good. And my head is also thinking I probably could have just boosted the factory manifold. Extremely long runners, and no guarantee that the plastic would hold up, mind you. If we say have to go to 30 pounds, not sure it would hold up, but it could have, possibly could have. I may have to try it one day, see what it's like. I wouldn't have had to spend as much money doing this, that's for sure. But yeah, I just don't think the plastic is up to it. Let me know if you had any experience boosting I think I call it a clamshell, a plastic clamshell intake manifold. It just doesn't seem too strong, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So I was kind of hoping that these would be there on the flat, but it's not. They're there. But I can fix that somehow. I'll work it out. Anyway, thanks for watching so far, and please give me feedback of what I'm doing. Okay, it's the next morning, and I've had a bit of a time to sleep on it. See, the Coyote, see how much further, how far forward this one is, number one, right? See the angle that's on. Now, look at the Jeep engine. This is forward, but minute, right? It is basically, I'm holding this square with the manifold, and honestly, if I line up the top of the screen, let's make sure it's square, mate, there's maybe very little in it. This one side is forward just maybe a centimeter, but compared to this one, right, you're looking 2 to 2.5 centimeters. Now, for me to leave these pipes as they are, I would have to smack this back, damaging to crack the housing, risking to crack it, and these would have to be knocked up to half an inch or a centimeter backwards, all of these, and these ones forward, to match the positions on here. So the more I think about it, I'm going to cut these out, get an aluminium plate, and start again. And that way I can just go straight through these in a straight line. I don't have to mess about machining on an angle to match the different offset. I can just do a straight job, right? And I'll square these off just like the Jeep one is. Yeah, so I'll probably salvage these pipes because they've got a nice velocity stack on the inside. I'll probably cut through here, along here, and then along there, and then buy some aluminium plate and cut the holes in the right place, put a bend in the middle just like this is, drop these through. I believe that is the way to go. That is the way to go. I finally found a place that will cut me a piece of steel for the front of this engine. It's gonna weigh, what does it say, 24 kilo. But then, you know, it still needs a lot of cutting out of it. The center needs to be cut out bits of the end. That is a big rectangular plate. So so that's probably coming this week. I imagine they'll do it this week. It's ordered, so they should do it this week. Then I can mount. I'll need to mark that out, cut it out of the plate, and then cut the shape of the subframe. Work out exactly how far back or how low I'm going to do the engine. I probably go down a bit more. I like to go down because of the drivetrain. And I also need to modify the subframes too. But it's all coming together. Okay. Anyway, I'll probably cut a bit of this out. So yeah, that's coming. The slip yoke elimination kit to shorten this, and then I can use a dual double cardan tail shaft. The lead for this is coming. Yeah, just a matter of time waiting. Even my darkened sleeves are still not here yet, and they were ordered and paid for last year, so still haven't got them. So yeah, still waiting. Anyway, I'll keep going with this, and I'll show you how my progress goes. I don't know if you can see it, but that's ice. And you may ask, why is my chuck frozen? Good question. As you can see, I've been milling. Right, ouch, that was sharp. That was smart. The MT, I think that's the correct tapered bit that goes in, keeps coming loose. And this is the MT3, not the 1 or the 2, it's a bigger one. And it keeps coming loose. It's a brand new machine. That's annoying, because it starts rattling around and digging down. Every like 15-20 minutes of cutting. Now, one advice I come across online was to chuck it in the freezer. Put it in and then let it warm up. So I'm going to let it warm up overnight. So I've tapped it in there. Hopefully that fixes it. Also, another trick was to put thread tape, plumbing Teflon thread tape, up the shaft and then slamming it in. Now, is this because I'm using a chuck and not the whew, that is cold, man. I presume that in the freezer metal absorbs the cold a lot more than, say, food. Is it a problem because it's a chuck? Do I need to get one of those milling bits? I don't know. We'll see. And while I was doing that, my iron rock slip yoke elimination kit came in, and the box was a bit beaten up, but everything seems to be okay. So yeah, let's see. Iron rock. This is for the heavy duty 242 transfer case. It's the same one that's in the Hummers, so should be plenty strong enough. So yeah, So I can put this hereabouts and then use a double cardan tail shaft. So yeah, it's all happening a bit slower than I expected, but yeah, the frustrating bit that tapered, I keep forgetting the name, MT3 arbor, yeah, MT3 arbor keeps coming loose, which is frustrating, very, very frustrating. I don't believe it's because the machine's not bolted down and that allows for vibration. I don't believe it's that. As you can see, I've gone deeper and this one is actually almost through, but I just had enough of it after a while. I thought, okay, let's go online and find out information. So there you go, another step for today, and see how we go tomorrow. And then I'll probably do a separate clip of how I install that what is it, slip yoke, so SY elimination, SYE, right, that's what you abbreviate it to, the SYE kit from Iron Rock Off-Road. You can find plenty of these, much better ones, like much more with all new shafts and everything for the weaker model, but not for this model. For the HD model, they're a bit harder to find, but that's them's the brakes when you want big power. But I'm glad this one was available. It basically replaces that, which actually looks a bit smaller. Looks like it has a smaller yoke than the factory yoke. But it's possible I can use this one. There's no reason why not. All this one has is this washer that's placed there and it's bolted down. That would mean if I just drilled this, if I want to keep this size universal joint, all I have to do is drill this and use this kit to shorten it and cut it. You know, that's no problem. Where is the, oh, that's in the back underneath there now, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I'm quite sure this is a smaller yoke because, yeah, universal joint, I mean, this is much smaller universal joint. But we'll see, depends on, I guess I'll have to get a tail shaft. I'll make it as short as possible. There's not going to be a matching tail shaft anyway, so I'm going to have to get one and shorten one, which is not a big problem. Shortening a tail shaft is not that difficult. Depends on what size universal joint comes with the tail shaft. I am surprised for a heavy duty transfer case it comes with a smaller universal joint. But that could well, yeah, because this transfer case comes with a bigger one. That's odd. But there you have it. There you have it. We shall see. I will work it out. It would have been nice if everything was the same, but it's not. But just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's weaker. Depends on its design, of course. But I believe this is the same as what's on the gearbox now. And I don't have one on this side, never came with one, so yep. We shall sort it out. Anyway, that's it for today. It's all happening here. My motor plate just come in. Well, what's going to be my motor plate. So maybe you can see my imagination now. Right? There. I'll probably make an access hole for that, so I don't have to put an angle kit on the oil filter. Depending on the size hole I need, how much strength I need to take out of the plate, I may still put an angle kit on here. A filter relocation wouldn't be a bad idea. Get a relocation kit. Yeah. So now I've got to work out the exact position for the engine and then start measuring. The plate goes all the way here with a notch out of it. Alright, so it sits above and inside, not just hanging there, but if anything were to happen, the plate would end up sitting on top of the subframe. And here it'll just, like, I'll shape it to go under a bit and down. Yeah. Backyard engineering. Anyway, oh no, I couldn't possibly still be feeling cold. No, it's just the coldness of steel. But hopefully that will stay now. Cross the fingers. Alright, I'll let you know soon. Okay, so freezing did not work. So maybe some Teflon tape will. Who knows? I'll let you know. Well, the one side that lasted a lot longer. So I saw someone online say fold it over, so let's try that one and see how that goes. Hooey! Tell you what, this is a learning curve. I've never milled in my life. I'm just going by guts. I thought, well, I'll show you that one first. That's the first one, that's a bit rough. That's the second one, that's a bit better. And then I thought, the reason that one's better, I drilled it out first like that. So I just got to knock these two centers out. So I'm just cleaning up the edges with the mill. Instead of milling the entire surface all the way down, I'm just using a drill bit, drill the bulk of it out, and then just run the mill around the edges to clean it up. That's what I've done so far. And you probably don't agree with how I put the arbor into the drill. The freezing didn't work, the Teflon tape didn't work, but super glue worked. When you're desperate, what are you supposed to do? Super glue. I put a few drops of super glue on the shaft and it seems to be hanging in there. Will it ever come out again? I don't know. We'll see. I guess I could always soak it, you know, there's a hole in the top, so you can always, I think there's a hole there for fluids, so you can always pour like what's it called? Paint thinners in there, which is what, like nail polish remover. I'm sure that will soak through and remove it if I have to remove it in the future. So, but yeah, at the moment it works super glue. Anyway, I'm going to knock these out and clean them up and show you when I'm done. Oh well, that's one down, one to go. So I've got this job going, I've got this job going, and I've got this job going. So, plenty to watch on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see all the twisted insanity that goes on here. And especially if you want to be there in the end when it finally crank this monster over. Anyway, thanks for watching and keep commenting, and I'd love to reply and talk to you guys. So take care and God bless.